What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new video series. This video series is really going to be about taking some of the personal learnings that I've had in my life and some of the learnings I've had with my clients and then summarizing them into really brief points that make them understandable and make them relatable. I've got to say now, this video is completely unscripted, and the reason I started doing this video unscripted links really heavily into the second point in this video. My ego had destroyed my enjoyment of content creation, and my ego was really destroying the way I felt after I put a video out. I've flipped the script, I've taken a different approach, and I'm really hoping that it will come through and be really enjoyable for you to watch. So let's go ahead, let's get straight into point number one. Personal development really is everything. I've spoken about it on the radio show and I've spoken about it a lot on this YouTube channel. I've had a real journey with my own self-image and I've had a real journey with body dysmorphia. Several years ago I had counselling for it. In fact, I think I had 2 to 3 years of counselling for it. It made a little bit of a difference, but fundamentally I found that I was really just going around in circles, looking at the feeling and trying to understand where it came from. Recently I stepped into the world of personal development and I started hacking into parts of my personality that I didn't even realise existed. The best way to describe it is that personal development is about building the life for yourself. It's about building the future for yourself. Counselling is about looking back and trying to understand that. That's not to say that there's no relevance and no benefit to doing that, but it's just, for me, I needed something to strive for. I needed something to look forward to. Personal development really got me unlocked, and it really got me unlocked to the full delights and the full experiences of life. This is exactly what I do with my clients. They come to me and they say, look, I feel this way. I feel that way about myself. What can I do? How can I change that? There's no harm in acknowledging that that's there, and that's what we do. But the real work for me and the real work for them comes in looking forward and thinking, shit, I can be so excited about life. Once you start getting in contact with your passions, once you start getting in contact with your confidence, once you start getting in contact with and being away from your inhibitions, you really start to realize that you are holding yourself back so much. So, personal development is going to navigate you through that. Trust me, I cannot emphasize it enough. Build that future and use personal development and self-understanding is the biggest tool to do that. Number 2, your ego has got absolutely no place for anything you do in life. Millennial generations, man, they are run by ego. So many things play a part in this, but social media has to take a lot of the blame for it. If you care about the number of people that watch your story, if you care about how many likes you get, you are straight into the territory of ego. You do not want to be there. Your ego has no place in your development. If you go into the gym and you're looking at a guy in there and you're wondering if he's bigger than you, if you're going into work and you're looking at somebody and you're thinking, do they earn more money than me? That is ego. And that's the stuff that holds you back. That's the stuff that leads you down cycle after cycle of comparison. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you fulfilled. And living life in your ego is probably living at about 10% of your full potential. Living life run by your ego is probably having about 20% of the experiences you should be having. So look at your ego, kill it, man. Kill it. It's got absolutely no place. It's about being the best version of yourself. Again, this is what I see with my clients. They hold on to things. They're living in their ego, they're texting people, then they say questions like, why am I getting thirsty? You're getting thirsty because your ego is desperate for validation. You don't want that person, you're just getting thirsty because you want somebody to tell you that you're good enough. So look at that, understand it's just your ego, indulge your ego if you feel like you really need to, but do not make it a place where you base your growth and you base your development. Number 3, you'll always get nervous if you care about something. I wish this one wasn't the case, I really do. I experience it so often. I consider myself to be a good public speaker, and I consider myself to being really good at understanding people's feelings and people's emotions. However, when it comes to a situation where one of those two things matters, I clam up, I get nervous, I feel tense, and it sucks. It's the most frustrating thing. But there's no harm in acknowledging that that's the case. And all you really have to look at is the fact that you feel like that because you care about the outcome. You feel like that because what you're doing actually matters to you. The best way to get around that is to understand the concepts of empowered vulnerability. And empowered vulnerability is when you really just acknowledge that you feel a certain way. If you're going on a date with somebody and you feel nervous in front of them because they're so attractive, there's no harm in just saying, look, I'm fucking nervous. I think you're really attractive. By doing so, you just highlight what people know is there. The opposite of doing that would be you sulk, you get moody, you're distant, you play games with that person because you don't want them to see how much you care. That just pushes people away, and it's much better just to say, look, this is the way that I feel. It's the same with anything else you do in life. If you feel nervous, if you're struggling, just say it, just highlight it. You don't have to do it in a way that makes it into a story or makes it into a narrative. But if I'm standing in front of a room of people to speak and I'm nervous, there's no harm in me saying, look, this is a big group of people, I'm nervous, bear with me, but we are going to get there. And you see when you do that, people instantly bond with you because you're showing them a little bit of you. You see when you say things like that, people empathize with you and want to see you succeed and want to see you do well. So look, own it. You feel the way that you feel. There's no harm in acknowledging that. Take it, develop, acknowledge it, and then you'll see that once you start doing that, you'll learn how to control those negative feelings and you'll learn how to control those feelings of nerves and anxiety. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please can I ask you to give it a like and a subscribe. My website is now live and I'll pop the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this video.